2 of 3 is what the Yankees needed to do from here on out. And going into the series, that was kind of an unrealistic goal. But they did just that, and they won this game here 9-1. A really, really solid, complete win. And you would have taken probably just a game in this series. I know we talked about this before, previewing the series, and 1 of 3 was kind of something you would take with no Aaron Judge, with no Urshela, no Loizaga, no King, no Cortez, no Luke Voigt. And at full strength, this team hadn't even shown they could compete against the Red Sox. So to win this one while you're not at full strength, while you're as depleted as you are, was massive. And so in this particular game, it was Jameson Taillon who kept the run of really good starting pitching going for the Yankees. He went 5 1/3 shutout innings, and it brings the Yankees starters ERA in the last 10 games to 1.98. So that early season success we saw from the starters is starting to come back as of late. And Taillon in particularly looks like he's turned the corner. Boone talked about after the game how he had that disaster in Philly, and he's kind of turned it around since then. But if you look deeper into his last 3 starts, you really do see the success and the results start to be there that he's talked about so much this year. Shutting down good offenses like the Astros, the Red Sox, and even the Mariners. It's really impressive stuff to see. And he didn't have his A stuff tonight. I think that's really important. It's a really good mark of how good a pitcher is when they don't have their A stuff and they're able to compete. And he kind of talked about post-game how the Yankees have been able to handle the adversity as of late.
Yeah, I mean, for us to lose that first night, it would have been easy for us to roll over after everything, that's gone on the past few days with who we've lost and stuff. And to come back and win 2 games and get contributions from everyone up and down the lineup. Like Greg Allen, Ryan Lamar. These guys coming up, fitting right in, putting together competitive at-bats, putting their body on the line in the outfield, stuff like that. It's been fun to watch. It's been fun to be a part of. So, yeah, just who can step up until we get our pieces back and then just keep it rolling.
On the offensive side of the ball, it was Gleyber Torres again who got going. His second homer in as many nights. It gives 3 of his 5 homers on the year against the Red Sox, and it really can't be, understated how huge a Gleyber Torres 2019 return would be for the Yankees, especially in this upcoming stretch. But after that home run, it was a lot of small ball for the Yankees. It was a new, unique approach that we haven't seen this year. They were bunting for hits. They were stealing bases. They were executing hits and runs to perfection, and that set them up for their second, third, and fourth runs. And when you look at it, especially this series, Greg Allen has been kind of the face of this new version of the next man up Yankees. He's already won over the fan base, I can tell you that for sure. He got on a few times tonight. He had a really impressive at-bat where he battled and ended in a sac fly. And it's the energy that guys like Allen can provide that you hope can be a spark and you hope it latches on to everyone on the team. But the offense wasn't just small ball. They did go back to the home run ball, and we saw that in the 7th. They began to blow it open a little bit. Rougned Odor hit a 2-run shot to make it 5-0. He's kind of heat up as of late as well. He's up to 310 in his last 15 games. And they disciplined 2 in that inning. They had 5 walks in that 7th. It opened up the lead to 7-0. Chapman ended up coming up in this one in the top of the 9th when the lead was 9-1. He worked to 1-2-3 inning. He's still getting back to his old self, but overall a really encouraging performance from him to cap off a really good series. Some other notes in this game that are very important. Trey Ambergy pulled his hamstring in the 2nd inning. He had to get taken out for Brett Gardner. Aaron Boone said post-game that, it was just tight. It doesn't sound too serious, but that's certainly something to monitor, especially with how depleted that outfield is right now. You also saw Zach Britton make his first return off the IL. First appearance in almost a month, and he was up and down. He had 2 strikeouts. He also walked 2. He couldn't finish that 8th. He was relieved by Lucas Luque, but he'll continue to build himself up, and he needs to be a weapon coming up for the Yankees here. And in the bottom half of the 8th, it was Ryan Lemare who got called up yesterday because of the Tim McCastro torn ACL, and he went yard, his first since 2019. In the 3rd inning, he crashed into the wall. It did not look good. He was on the ground for a little bit, but he stayed in the game. He toughed it out. He provided a spark. And post-game, he said something I think that's really important because it shows that these new guys that are coming up, they want to play right now. They have the urgency. Their jobs aren't guaranteed. And so he talked about how he was able to fight through the injury and tough today's game out.
I felt like my foot landed kind of half on the concrete, half on the dirt. And I knew it buckled a little bit underneath me. But when I kind of laid there for a second, like nothing was like a sharp pain right away. So I thought I was going to be all right. And then, after last time coming up for 4 days and hurt my hamstring so early. I told Booney, man, I'm not coming out. I'm not coming out of the game. Like, it's, you don't get too many chances to wear pinstripes. So, I want to take advantage of every inning I'm given out there.
And here's the bottom line with the Yankees. As I talked about before, if you told people going into it that you would have Stan go 0 for 12 and you'd have all those guys that were injured, you would assume the worst, because that has been 2021 Yankees baseball so far. And we do rip into them a lot. I think it's fair that they look feebless, they're lifeless. But if this series kind of showed anything, it's that they can handle adversity and they're not going to just roll over. And in the end, it won't matter if they do come out flat. They have a huge series in Fenway Park against the Red Sox this weekend. But, before that, they have an off day tomorrow, and then they get a Joe Girardi, Didi Gregorius reunion special in the Bronx versus the Phillies. Domingo Germán is expected to start Tuesday's game. But I think he can keep doing this 2 out of 3. You're not going to make the deficit up overnight, but just keep winning series, keep playing good baseball. It will come, because they are not out of it. This wild card is still attainable. So keep doing that. We're going to keep an eye on the Yankees as the second half gets underway. For WFUV Sports, I'm Ryan Gregware, reporting live from Yankee Stadium.